Andy had always been a man of action. For nearly 2 decades, he had worked as an electrician, thriving in the practical world rather than the classroom. He had earned his master's license by the time he was 24, a testament to his skill and dedication. Though he wasn't one for textbooks, his intelligence was undeniable. He preferred the tangible satisfaction of fixing things over the abstract nature of studying. Life had been good, stable, even. He had a loving wife, Claire, and a young daughter, April. His job at Alpha Electrical Contractors provided a comfortable life. Their house and cars were paid off, vacations were regular, and bills were never a worry. Andy thought they were happy. Tom, Andy's best friend since grade school, had taken a different path. After earning a degree from Stanford and an MBA, he became a successful businessman. Though he made more money, Tom often expressed envy over Andy's family life, reminding him that money couldn't buy love. Andy always agreed. He loved Claire, and April was his world. He had even taught her a bit about electrical work, though he hoped for more for her future. But in August, everything changed. Andy returned home from a job to find Tom's car in the driveway. It wasn't unusual, Tom often came over for dinner. But this time, April wasn't there to greet him. Claire and Tom had odd expressions, and when Claire said, "We need to talk," Andy's heart sank. He took a moment to shower, his mind racing with possibilities. Was Claire pregnant? Was someone sick? He couldn't have guessed the truth. When he joined them in the living room, Claire confessed that she and Tom had fallen in love. She wanted a divorce. Andy was speechless, struggling to process the betrayal. When he finally found his voice, he asked if they had slept together. Claire's answer was a knife to his back. Tom tried to speak, but Andy cut him off, threatening him if he ever spoke to him again. Claire pleaded for civility, but Andy was beyond reason. He vowed to fight for custody of April, refusing to become a part-time dad. Claire argued that April should stay with her to maintain stability, but Andy wasn't having it. He accused Claire of trading him in for someone with a bigger bank account. Claire admitted that she had married Andy out of expectation, not true love, and that she had found what she was missing with Tom. Andy was devastated. He had always believed they were happy, that their issues could be worked out. Now, he was left grasping for answers. The divorce was finalized in mid-January. Claire waived alimony, and custody was awarded to her. April chose to stay with her mother, a decision that shattered Andy. He had misjudged everything, believing his family truly cared about him. It felt like a repeat of his past, being used and discarded. The judge's words about equity and child support blurred into background noise. Andy couldn't focus on anything but the betrayal. He disappeared shortly after, leaving behind everything. He cancelled his credit cards, paid cash for everything, and moved 3 states away. He found work with a local contractor, paid under the table, and lived off the grid. He slept in his car, showered at truck stops, and avoided anything that required his name. Eventually, he found a room to rent from an elderly woman named Miss Ruth, who became a surrogate mother to him. Years passed. Andy rebuilt his life, finding love again with Sheila, a woman who had also been betrayed by her spouse. Sheila had a young daughter, Megan, and Andy quickly became a father figure to her. But when Sheila discovered Andy's past, she reached out to Claire, hoping to reunite Andy with April. Andy was furious, feeling betrayed once again. He lashed out at Sheila, accusing her of reopening old wounds. But Sheila stood her ground. She loved Andy, but she couldn't ignore the pain he had caused April. She gave him an ultimatum: make things right with his daughter or lose her and Megan. Andy, realizing he had been wrong, agreed. He reconnected with April, apologizing for letting his anger and hurt cloud his judgment. April forgave him, and they began to rebuild their relationship. Andy and Sheila married in a small courthouse ceremony, with April and Megan by their side. Over the next 2 years, Andy bought out his boss and became the largest electrical contractor in Marble Falls. He and Sheila ran the business together, with Megan and their new baby daughter, Katie, completing their family. April married Benjamin, and they were expecting their first child. Andy had finally found peace, though the scars of his past would always remain. The aftermath. Life continued to move forward, but the past was never far behind. Andy's relationship with April grew stronger with time. She visited often, bringing Benjamin and eventually their newborn son, Liam. Andy adored being a grandfather, finding joy in the little moments he had missed with April. Sheila and Megan embraced their new family, and Andy felt a sense of fulfillment he hadn't known in years. Claire and Tom, on the other hand, lived a quieter life. They had settled into a routine, but the weight of their choices lingered. Claire often wondered if she had made the right decision, especially when she saw the happiness Andy had found with Sheila. Tom, though successful, carried the guilt of betraying his best friend. They both knew their actions had caused irreparable damage, but they tried to focus on the life they had built together. One day, Andy received a letter from Claire. It was brief, expressing her regret and hope that they could one day find closure. Andy read it in silence, then tucked it away. He wasn't ready to forgive, but he acknowledged the letter as a step toward healing. Sheila, ever the mediator, encouraged him to consider reaching out, but Andy wasn't sure he ever would. As the years went by, Andy's business flourished. He became a respected figure in the community, known not just for his work but for his resilience. Sheila and Megan thrived, and Katie grew into a spirited little girl who adored her big sister. April and Benjamin's family expanded, and Andy found himself surrounded by love and laughter. But the scars of betrayal never fully faded. Andy still carried the pain of losing his first family, but he had learned to live with it. He had found a new purpose, a new love, and a new family. And though the past would always be a part of him, it no longer defined him. In the end, Andy realized that life wasn't about avoiding pain but about finding the strength to move forward. He had lost much, but he had also gained more than he ever imagined. And for that, he was grateful. Story moral. Betrayal can shatter trust, but healing is possible. Andy's world was torn apart by the betrayal of his wife, Claire, and his best friend, Tom. The pain of being betrayed by those closest to him left deep scars. However, the story shows that while betrayal can destroy trust, it is possible to heal and rebuild. Andy's journey demonstrates that even the deepest wounds can mend with time, effort, and the support of those who truly care.